Hello and welcome to Beering in Mind Beer Reviews. Today we're going to take a look at, or begin to take a look at several beers from one brewery, and that one is called Hitachino Nest. And this brewery is very well known outside of Japan. If you go to a liquor store, a big liquor store in the US, and they have a foreign beer section, Japanese beers will often include Hitachino Nest. Many people call it owl beer because it has the owl on the front. And Hitachino Nest is really an offshoot of Kyuchi Brewery, which is a very long established sake brewery in Nakashi, Ibaraki Ken in Japan, which is up north of Tokyo. They started in 1823 and began making beer in 1996. And they also make wine, spirits, sake, things like that. So half of the brewery's production goes to the United States, and they export to like 30 different countries. And they also have something interesting, which is not common in Japan. They have a brew on premises facility, so you can go in and make beer. They'll help you. They'll help you choose ingredients, and then you make the beer. They brew the beer, and you come back and bottle it. So very, very nice. They established a special brewery in 2008 just for beer in Nukata area, and they also grow their own hops there. There are 15 different beers in their regular beer lineup, which is quite large. And probably their most famous beers are Japanese classic ale. They have different varieties. Some are aged in cedar casks. And they have been a contract brewer for Brooklyn Brewery since 2009, making Brooklyn Lager and that sort of thing for Japan. They also established a brewery in Korea, so they're very active and have been doing many, many things in craft beer in Japan. And now let's take a look at another beer from Hitachino Nest. This one is kind of a strong one. It's called Hitachino Nest Commemorative Ale. And it may also be referred to as Hitachino Nest New Year Commemorative Ale. It is a kind of a winter warmer, and it comes out at the end of the year, usually. So this one was brewed in December of 2019. It's a high alcohol brew at 8%, and so it has a kind of a long shelf life until December of this year. So this was brewed about 6 months ago, and we're going to give it a go today here. And like many winter warmers, it has some spices in it. It contains a variety. On the label here, we see it has barley malt and some wheat malt as well, and hops, of course, orange peel, coriander seed, and cinnamon, nutmeg, and vanilla. So it's got quite a bit going on here. You would think with coriander seed and orange peel, the base is it's kind of a white ale base here, but actually it has more barley malt than wheat malt. But we'll see how it goes. Here, I have never had this one as far as I can remember. On Rate Beer, this one has 692 ratings, an average score of 3.56 out of 5, 90 percentile for all beers, and get this, 99 for its style, which is flavored or other. So that's exceptionally high. On Untapped, it's got 1,841 ratings for an average score of 3.65, a little bit higher than the Rate Beer rating here. So what we see here, of course, is the sun rising over Mount Fuji on New Year's Day, and of course the Hitachino Nest owl sitting right in the middle of it here. I think we should give this one a go. 8% commemorative ale from Hitachino Nest. It is a dark, somewhat hazy, dark amber orange color. I mean, it is, I can see through it, sort of, but not clearly. It's got about a half a finger of sort of off-white head and a thick, sticky lace. Let's try let's look at the color here, of course. Okay. All right, and the aroma. Right away we get some kind of puffs of alcohol. Fruit, for sure. Very rich, kind of rich, sort of dark fruitiness. Maybe like condensed stone fruit puree, something like that. Caramel. Okay. It's got caramel. It's got the sweetness kind of builds up and kind of pops in mid-palate. Sort of a moderate kind of dark stone fruitiness. It's not bright stone fruit, but somewhere between a dark fruit and a stone fruit, like a peach, something between a peach pear sort of thing, or maybe and plum, perhaps, or something even a little darker. The spices are certainly evident from mid-palate on. I don't think I'd necessarily be able to identify them as cinnamon, coriander, seed, for sure, or nutmeg. They blend quite well. So it is a kind of mild blended spiciness. Vanilla. I don't get vanilla as a distinct element, but it, perhaps blended in with the other spices. So kind of warming. Body is sort of medium heavy. This seems to be pushing up to something higher, like you know, I want to say it's kind of like a Belgian strong ale, even though it clearly not a Belgian style beer, but it has a kind of warming warmth of something like a Chimay or you know, the fruitiness of something like that. In any case, this is a very interesting beer. It's not your typical winter warmer, but very interesting, very pleasant, and this one will certainly warm you up at the end of the year if you happen to have it at that time. This is the middle of the summer now, so it's quite a different thing. In any case, give this a go if you like. 8% flavored beer from Hitachino Nest, and I think, again, this one might be best to hang on to it for a year and drink it the following winter. You know, so put some age on it and see how it blends out. 8% commemorative ale from Hitachino Nest. Well, that's it for now. We've kind of finished our series of Hitachino Nest that we're working on now, 5 beers, and we're going to move on to another Japanese craft beer company called Y Market next, and I hope you will tune in for that. Okay, stay well. Okay, bye-bye.